What's up, WWE YouTube Nation? I hope you guys are having a lovely, happy, beloved Friday and a beloved, magical, happy Boxing Day as well. You know, because today in Europe would be Boxing Day. The day after Christmas in Europe is Boxing Day. So, as always, happy beloved Friday and happy magical beloved Boxing Day as well, guys. But also, today is a sad day in professional wrestling. I'm going to get to that in just a little bit, guys. But welcome back to the channel of the Ryan Knipe WWE Report right here on YouTube. All right, guys, obviously, I really want to talk about some stuff that happened tonight on Friday Night SmackDown, especially between Joe Henry and the awesome one, The Miz, especially with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. But like I said a couple days ago, we are not talking about that tonight, and maybe tomorrow's episode we will. As I just said, guys, today also is a sad day in professional wrestling because 5 years ago today we lost Brodie Lee, aka Luke Harper's Brodie Lee, real name, but in WWE he was known as Luke Harper. He was in the original Wyatt family. He was SmackDown Tag Team Champions with Eric Rowan, who is currently in the Wyatt 6, guys. And it's just sad. You know, it's sad that we are not just the day after Christmas, but we are now on the 5-year anniversary of Brodie Lee's tragic death, guys. You know what? I don't like talking about a man's family, guys, but you got to have his your thoughts, your love, your prayers with his wife, his son, and in all professional wrestling. And it was unfortunate, but in the WWE, Brodie Lee only won 2 titles on the main roster. He was the Intercontinental Champion, and then he was one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions with Eric Rowan. So, you know what? In honor of the late, great Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brodie Lee, I want to know what your favorite moment of Brodie Lee was. And that could be in the WWE, that could be in AEW, that could be whatever. If you guys have a favorite memory or a favorite moment of the late, great Luke Harper, aka Brodie Lee, I would love to know what that is down below in the comment section. Obviously, professional wrestling never is the same when you know Brodie Lee was Luke Harper in the WWE. And, I remember one of the voices of the WWE, the great Michael Cole, making fun of, Brodie Lee, or AKA Luke Harper, on Monday Night Raw, saying that like he smells like he just came from a swamp. But, when he was in the WWE under the name Luke Harper, very unique. I kind of felt like he fit in to the original Wyatt family just fine and dandy. And again, he won 2 main titles on the main roster. That was the Intercontinental Championship and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, along with Eric Rowan, who is currently in the Wyatt 6s. And speaking of Eric Rowan took to Twitter, or X, earlier today, along with Uncle Howdy. And Uncle Howdy posted on Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, a photo of the late, great Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper together, guys. And, when people think about, the name Luke Harper, they think of the Wyatt family, and all that. Obviously, we also lost the late, great Bray Wyatt at a very young age as well. But it comes back to my question, guys, for you guys. What was your favorite moment of Brodie Lee, or AKA Luke Harper, guys? It's sad to know that I woke up this morning, the day after Christmas, on a Friday, a beautiful Friday where I live, and it is the 5-year anniversary of the loss of the late, great Brodie Lee. Surprisingly, guys, I know I should know this as a wrestling fan and a WWE YouTuber, but I forgot what was the cause of his death. Not that it matters, but I forgot. I remember how the late, great Bray Wyatt passed away. But for some reason, with Brodie Lee or Luke Harper, I forgot. But it is sad, guys. And, I remember 5 years ago hearing the news that he passed away, and I was devastated. Obviously, this was before I was a YouTuber, but still, the impact he made in professional wrestling, guys, was one of a kind. And, when I think of, Brodie Lee and guys, let me just be honest. I do not watch AEW. And I get asked that a lot, I literally, guys, one of my subscribers I ran into just before Christmas Eve this year at the store, and they asked me if I watch AEW. I don't watch AEW. I just WWE and all that. But getting back to it, when you think of like how young he was when he passed away, and especially with the late, great Bray Wyatt, you think of like tomorrow is not guaranteed. I hear it all the time. See you tomorrow. See you next week. It's not. Just tomorrow is not a guarantee, guys. And it proves, the point when you think of really Bray Wyatt and Brodie Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper. They both passed away at very, very young ages. So, for a little tribute to the late, great Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brodie Lee, I would love to know what your favorite memory of him was. And that could be in the WWE, that could be in AEW, general, whatever you want. It's just, sad because, even the current WWE Undisputed Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, he is extremely close with Brodie Lee's son and family. Of course, Brodie Lee's son, Brodie Lee Jr., was at ringside for 2 of Cody Rhodes' main events at WrestleMania against the OTC Roman Reigns. And it kind of feels like that a lot of Cody Rhodes' main events, Brodie Lee's son is at, guys. And, Cody Rhodes, he's said this on literally multiple occasions, but he considers Brodie Lee's family to him. And, you don't hear that every day, nor do you see that every day. So, you know what, guys? I know even, 5 years ago today, we lost Brodie Lee, and people say that, once it's 3 years or more, it's not that big of a deal, but, think of his son, I don't know how old his son was at the time, but it, it doesn't matter, a kid losing his dad at a young age, is sad. It is traumatizing, It proves that, tomorrow is just not guaranteed, and it's just, it's one thing, like the quote, tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's really something we don't hear a lot in life. We don't say it a lot, and we really don't hear it a lot, when I have to think of Bray Wyatt or Brodie Lee, I definitely have to look at that quote, guys, because they both passed away at a very young age. And, I mean, it's sad, it's sad that, not only did a kid lose his father, but, a wife lost her husband, and all of that. But, if I may ask, as a WWE YouTuber, what did you think of Brodie Lee's run in WWE? Were you a fan of it? Do you think he should have been pushed, a little more? Do you agree with the booking? I mean, he was in the original Wyatt family. He actually had one match against the Beast of the WWE, Brock Lesnar. That was back in 2016 at like Roadblock, I believe. But literally, guys, I mean, I would love to know what did you think of Brodie Lee, or AKA Luke Harper's run in the WWE, especially when he was tag team champions with Eric Rowan, and they were known as the Bludgeon Brothers. Remember that? So, let me know, guys. The only singles title Brodie Lee won on the main roster in the WWE was the Intercontinental Championship. And, I would like to know what you guys thought of his WWE run. If you agree, but like, do you think he should have been a world champion, a main event, WrestleMania main eventer, a Royal Rumble winner, Mr. Money in the Bank? That's what I want to know. So let me know. Oh, also Brodie Lee, he was actually tag team champions with one other person, and that was the chairman, the CEO of RKO, Randy Orton, as well. I forgot about that. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys thought of Brodie Lee's run in WWE under the name Luke Harper, guys. Like I said, I do not watch AEW, but I heard he was like, when he went to AEW, he was one of the top guys in that company, So, let me know what you guys thought of it down below in the comment section. But, guys, today marks 5 years since we lost the late, great Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brodie Lee. And it's a sad day, in wrestling, because we have to think of a guy that was so good at what he did, both inside and outside the ring. And he just passed away at a young age, and I forgot how he passed away. So if you guys remember that, you guys can tell me if you want. But 5 years, guys. And, I know Christmas was yesterday, and it's still the holiday season. And, knowing that today was 5 years, you got to think of his wife, family, especially his son, Brodie Lee Jr. as well, guys. What did you think of his run in the WWE? That's what I would like to know down below in the comment section. All right, guys, before I end tonight's episode, I just started reading the only WWE book. I consider this book a WWE book, but I started reading it last night. It is called Crazy Is My Superpower by the one, the only AJ Mendez, aka AJ Lee. It's so far, it's a really, really good book, guys. It was so funny. I got a comment, okay, and I'm not offended by this comment, but I have to tell you guys that this comment said I was the only boy that they have ever heard of that would want to read this book. Well, guys, if you guys must know, maybe at another time, because I don't want to go on and on and on. I think I even shared it in yesterday's video. I forgot, but AJ Mendez and I, kind of our life stories are a little bit the same to a certain degree. So I've always wanted to read it. I have a lot of friends that are not WWE fans that have read this book, and they have highly recommended it. So I cannot wait. It is going to be it's going to be an excursion journey that I will go on, and I'm excited for it. So, but I just want to let you guys know, I started reading it and all that. So far, it's a really interesting book. But, you know, I have an open mind to it. And, you know what? I remember, Charlotte Flair. Her book is really good, too. If you have not read that book, and I got that book autographed and personalized to me when I met Charlotte Flair right here in Boise back in 2017. I'll have to post the photo at some time because my mom took it. It was a really good photo, by the way. But so far, so good. The book, Crazy is My Superpower by AJ Lee, a.k.a. AJ Mendez. I'm enjoying it so far and all that. So, again, if you guys have read the book, do not spoil it for me. I still want to continue reading it. Chapter 1 was really good. No wonder it's a New York Times bestseller, and no offense to the mom herself, Becky Lynch, on all of that. But just wanted to tell you how the book is so far. I'm enjoying it. It's really good. And I can't wait for chapter 2 later tonight. All right, guys. Again, guys, can't believe it's Friday. Can't believe it's Boxing Day, and we are on the 5-year anniversary of losing Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brodie Lee, guys. So again, if you guys have a favorite Brodie Lee wrestling moment, whether it was in AEW or WWE, I would love to know what that is. And you know what? Since we're on a WWE YouTube page and talking about WWE, if you guys could grade Luke Harper's WWE run, what would it be? I would love to know on a scale of 1 to 10. So you guys can let me know all of that down below in the comment section. But I'm in the video right then and there, guys. So drop a like if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday night. And I think tomorrow we're going to have a lot of fun on the channel. And we're going to talk about tonight's little Friday Night SmackDown recap, especially between The Miz and Joe Henry, and then how the show ended with Dan Engler, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Nick Aldis. So all of that will be in tomorrow's episode. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your Boxing Day and your Friday. Mwah. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode tomorrow.